All righty. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Fall 2023 GCOOS members meeting. I'm really excited that everybody has been able to join. I see it looks like we already have 48 folks, and the numbers I keep hearing the ding, so I know folks are still joining. My name is Kirsten Larsen. I am the chair of the board for the GCOOS, the Gulf Oceans and Observing System, Gulf of Mexico Coastal and Oceans Observing System. And so I'm really excited about our agenda today. We do have two panels, and the first one's going to be on ocean heat data. It's been a hot topic, pun fully intended, in the Gulf the last few years. It's a very important index, as many of you all know, who live here and work here in the Gulf. And so Dr. Pat Hogan has put together this panel and will be moderating the first panel and discussion. And then we have another follow-on panel on offshore wind data, which is a follow-on from our spring meeting where we talked a lot about offshore wind. And Dr. Ruth Perry will be facilitating that panel and the discussion following it. So I really look forward to hearing everybody's presentations. And then at the end, we do have a member report out, similar to how we did in the spring meeting. And it looks like we've got a great lineup. I'm excited to hear from our members. And then we have additional topics at the end that we will go over later. So that's a quick run through of the agenda. And if anybody has any questions, you should be able to use the raise the hand button, and Jen Vreeland and Chris Seminello are our GCOOS hosts on this platform, so they will be able to work with you if you're having technical issues or if you have any questions behind the scenes. And people do type in the chat, so if you see that going by, feel free to check that out and put comments in the chat as well. So it becomes a little bit more interactive across the members there as well. All righty. Anybody have any questions to begin with? No? Okay. I was actually thinking that I would like all of the board members just to introduce themselves so we can take a quick roll call, or I will call you and you can say here, let me know. I'm trying to zip through the names, but it's a little bit hard. But anyway, all of the board members, if you could please introduce yourself to the group, I would appreciate it. I see Joe, you've got your mic on mute, so I'll let you go first.
Hi, folks. Joe Dzwonkowski, past chair of the GCOOS board and member of Outreach and Education Council. I've been on the board and associated with GCOOS probably going on, I don't know, 15 years now. So good to be here. Glad to see all of you.
Pat?
Hi, I'm Pat Hogan. I'm one of the government reps to GCOOS. I work for NOAA, National Center for Environmental Information. I guess I've been with GCOOS for about 12 or so years now. Thanks.
Nan?
Hello, everyone. I'm Nan Walker. I'm a professor in oceanography at LSU, Louisiana State University. I direct the Earth Scan Laboratory, and I've been a GCOOS Education and Outreach board member for probably 5 years, I believe, and a data provider before that. Thank you.
Kim?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Yates. I'm one of the government representatives. I'm with the U.S. Geological Survey, St. Pete Coastal and Marine Science Center. I've been a member of GCOOS for the past 5 years and on the board for just over 3 years now. Happy to be here.
Stephen?
I'm Stephen Houghton. I'm with the University of Southern Mississippi, and I'm the secretary of the executive committee, and I've been on the board, I think, since 2011, and been involved with GCOOS since the early 2000s when we were writing the first business plan.
Tom?
Hey everyone, Tom Wissing. I'm with the Naval Oceanographic Office, government representative. Been on the board since 2022 and glad to see everybody.
Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick Shay from the Rosenstiel School. Been working in the Gulf for, I don't want to tell you how long. Been on the board for about 6 years, and I find the Gulf a challenging place to try to understand.
Sarah?
Hey, I'm Sarah Graves with the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Been involved with GCOOS for many, many years, past chair and other activities, been on the outreach and committee, and glad to see everybody. And as Nick said, the challenges only get greater every day in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah.
Kate?
Hi, my name is Kate Hubbard. I am one of the state government representatives, and I work for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's Fish and Wildlife Research Institute. We both fund and consume data, models, observations. And I've been on the board for just a few years.
Thank you. Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill Lynch. Been on the board, I guess, about 10 years now, and I was a board chair before Sarah, and currently, as I am a consultant with IUS, I'm the Pass Underwater Glider User Group Coordinator, and we just had someone replace that position very recently. But glad to have everybody here and look forward to the meeting. Thank you.
And Ruth? All right, Ruth may not have been able to pop off her mute yet. All right, did I miss any board members on the list here? All right, hearing none. Thank you everybody for introducing yourself. I know a couple folks have to join late, so they will be arriving soon, but I would like to turn it over now to Dr. Jorge Brenner, our GCOOS Executive Director, for him to give us an update about what's all going on at the GCOOS office. Thanks, Jorge.
Thank you, Kirsten. I want to be the second person. I'm glad that I'm the second person to welcome everyone who's joining this meeting today and say how important it is for us and how appreciative we are that everyone is interested in GCOOS and your support throughout the years, not just our board, but everyone joining the meeting today. Thank you. I have a presentation that I'm going to start sharing right now. And I think that's the presentation there. So I wanted to start by sharing that what is GCOOS about and our mission. I always start my presentations by reminding everyone what is that we here to do. So GCOOS, it's one of the 11 regional associations of the Integrated Ocean Observing System. GCOOS, it's a certified organization by NOAA to provide data as it was collected with the same standards as if NOAA was doing the work through the IUS network. And we are here to provide on-demand information that is relevant for coastal and open waters, that is reliable and benefits everything that we care about the Gulf of Mexico, its people, its ecosystem, and the economy as well. We're physically set at Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas. We're fiscally managed also out of the same institution. And as I mentioned, we're one of the 11 regional associations covering every regional seas in the EEZs of the United States, providing data from coastal but also offshore environments. You already met our great board of directors group this afternoon. And I want to say also thank you to the group that ensures that our work is relevant, that covers and includes everyone in the Gulf of Mexico, and for which investments we will not have any retreats moving forward in the future at GCOOS. So as you met our board members, just to remind you that we do have 4 different sectors: the private industry, the academia, the government sector, and outreach and education groups and individuals. This group of people really ensure that our work remains to be relevant to you. And again, thank you for continuing to be interested in GCOOS. We do have some new members in our board, staff, and interns. Dr. Zoraida Yanez James with the Gulf Reach Institute and NOAA Ocean Exploration. She's our newest board member, joining just in this fall meeting our outreach and education sector for the first time at GCOOS. Dana Dillahunt, it's a new GIS developer with GCOOS that she's also joining the data management and cyber infrastructure group and taking our product development work to the next level. And we do have a number of interns that have joined since we met last year in, this year early in Gulfport, Mississippi in April. Solomon Nayameke, he's an intern from Rice University working on coastal climate change services framework that he's developing. And Shao Megana from George Washington University, they are also working with Bob Courier on Gandalf and data science developments as well. Welcome to all of them. We also have 6 other members at GCOOS in our general membership. This is a group that is really diverse and the most diverse group that I've seen in our all of our updates here, because we have new members from the US, from Mexico, and also from Cuba as well. We want to keep growing our membership and make sure that we keep reaching out to and getting perspectives from all around the Gulf of Mexico at GCOOS as well. On our budget update, I want to share that in July 1st, our new award started in year 3. So year 3 started a couple of months ago for us with a budget of $3.6 million. So this is our main award, the one that we receive every 5 years in a corporate institute with in collaboration with IUS. Of that amount, our different programs distribution is 17.1% for our HAT program, 15% for our glider and autonomous vehicles program, 10% for our radar program. Moorings program is 33%, a really large contribution from all kinds of different stations, from the coastal all the way to the offshore buoys in the Gulf of Mexico. 16% has been for M1 programs. These are the Marine Biodiversity Observation Network, for including all things that we do with cetacean projects and other consolidation of additional data sets in biological perspectives. 6% for our work on ocean acidification, and the remaining 2% for other satellite products that are part of the GCOOS data that it's being served and provided to everyone. A little bit of details for GCOOS. In addition to our main award, GCOOS managed in total 8 different projects. 4 of those on top are coming from the IUS program office, and those are the projects that we develop with them. And we also have 4 other projects in total for a total amount of $5 million in year 3, more or less, because all of these projects have different calendar years. So a total budget up to now that has been secured and managed to GCOOS since year 1 to year 3 for $15 million for all that period. The main update for our data portal resides in new current data that has been added to GCOOS. Felimon Gallanillo, who manages our data portal, he has been able to add 5 new organizations contributing current data for surface and subsurface throughout the Gulf of Mexico, including data that is going to be added from Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula Shelf, literally very soon for us. And also 3 additional radar stations that they are generating data that is coming through GCOOS. Those 2 are managed by GERG, coming at the Yucatan channel, and they are also now sending their data to GCOOS only because we haven't been able to add this data to the current HFR DAC. And a completely new station established also by GERG at Port Mansfield, Texas, in the south portion of Texas, that now makes a full network of 6 stations managed by GERG in Texas coast. Other data management updates are focused on, again, more biodiversity and M1 data that has been added by Tomo Sari, an engineer that is a GCOOS scientific computing specialist. Tomo joined GCOOS last year, and I just want to provide a big shout out to him because he just became a certified system administrator by the Linux Foundation, which is a big thing for us to ensure that our work it's compliant with the IUS requirements, and it's relevant to everyone as well. So congratulations to Tomo for obtaining that certification. Our report and an update on harmful algal blooms resides on the new bloom developed in Texas for the past couple of months. This bloom has stayed more or less within Texas waters to our knowledge. it developed about a couple of months ago. The previous bloom in 2018 was a much bigger bloom. Patrick and Craig start coordinating with Texas Sea Grant and Texas Parks and Wildlife to start providing them with a refresher of the HabScope hardware and software that allows for identification of the Carina concentrations. This data also together with data provided by the EXCB, managed by Dr. Darren Hendricks at Texas A&M University in Surfside, Texas. All of that information provided what needed by NCOS to compute a respiratory forecast for Texas as well this year, and being added to the HAB forecast website and model outputs as well. So look for this data. If you don't see any data for a particular day, that means that that data was maybe not taken or not available for that certain day. Come back and keep monitoring the bloom if you want. We used to call our program on autonomous vehicles only gliders, but over the past couple of years, this program has evolved to many things, not just gliders, but related to autonomous vehicles and other floats and other sensors, mobile sensors throughout the Gulf of Mexico. So now we call it autonomous vehicles, and it's becoming like a global support that we're providing to many other institutions in which the data flows through Gandalf, our piloting site. And this year, since hurricane season in June, we've been able to add a record number of 23 missions for gliders, sea gliders, and sail drones throughout the entire Gulf of Mexico, including data from our partners in Mexico, in southern Mexico as well, and other programs, and the sail drone program of NOAA and AOML in the Gulf of Mexico. So these 23 missions have had more than 1,000, way more than 1,000 wet days since hurricane season started in the Gulf of Mexico, providing a wealth of information required by environmental services model and also the National Weather Services modeling opportunities. One other improvement that Bob Courier, the developer and manager of Gandalf, has implemented throughout these past few months, it's integrating for the purposes of allowing for planning and decision making of our pilots using Gandalf to have at hand the model comparisons developed by Rod University, in which they include models, different scenarios of the art of models, with and without glider data, and with other models comparison, including European models. And all of this information, it's available for the pilots, as I say, in real time for them to decide what to do in terms of their missions that are essential. For the outreach and education program, Chris Simonelli has been also busy over the past few months since the spring meeting, working in taking to the next level our US NBON project with University of South Florida. It's our largest project on NBON related biodiversity issues, in which this particular period of time, they focus on identifying priorities by the national marine sanctuaries in the entire southeast of the United States, working together with Secor in identifying those priorities and therefore identifying specifics of those that will be part of the project. Chris also had the opportunity to support another project of the University of South Florida at the Center for Ocean Mapping and Innovative Technology. We call it COMET. COMET, it's launching a project about crowdsourced bathymetry. So feeding recreational vehicles and other vessels in the Gulf of Mexico with capacity to develop bathymetry and coastal environments where really NOAA ships are, it's not really suitable for them to do it. And with this, Chris and GCOOS are helping COMET also in working identifying these needs for pilot projects to keep enhancing the workflow for crowdsourced bathymetry in the Gulf of Mexico. Jen Greenland, coordinator of the GCAN network, the Gulf of Mexico Acidification Network of GCOOS. She has also been very busy throughout the summertime in enhancing and expanding the website of GCAN, providing information relevant about acidification impacts and recent research findings for many other stakeholders throughout the region, enhancing existing web page with new content and expanding it to new websites as well, web pages through GCAN. She has also joined the Mid-Atlantic CAN, the acidification network in the Mid-Atlantic with Nora Cruz, meeting this summer, expanding also our collaboration and contributions throughout the different CANs. And also she's working on a project, a study map project, together with International Acidification Alliance and Aquarium Conservation Program. They're developing also a story map, which is a highly visual opportunity to show the impacts of climate change and specifically of acidification throughout the Gulf of Mexico region. Grant Craig, our project manager for the citation project. This is an all new project that has been restarted just in year 3 for us at GCOOS. We've been tasked to develop data mobilization for all the data about population, habitat, and stressors for offshore cetaceans. These are the dolphins and the whales in the offshore portion of the Gulf of Mexico over the next couple of years. This is a project of the Open Ocean team of the NERDA Deepwater Horizon, by the international interagency groups managing the NERDA program in the Gulf of Mexico. Throughout the summer, Grant was able to complete a huge needs assessment by interviewing all the stakeholders of this project. Remember, these are managers who are looking into tools for tracking restoration progress towards restoration of this population, identifying all their needs for data and for data products. This is a report that was made available to NOAA. NOAA continues to fund GCOOS and support GCOOS to move forward with developing the database. We're in the early stages now of adding new data to the database and developing the infrastructure together with the GCOOS DMAC program. Other things that I haven't mentioned that are new in year 3 for GCOOS that I didn't want to miss the opportunity to share with you. It's we have a new PI, Dr. Catherine Hancock at the Florida State University, who is finalizing the details of permitting to install a new radar station in Panama City, Florida, that is going to be paired with a station managed by our partners at the University of Southern Mississippi. And this will help us continue filling some of the gaps at GCOOS in terms of surface currents for the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm also very excited to share the news of our partners, Dr. Kevin Hsu at the Louisiana State University, who recently taken a grant from NOAA, about $5 million, in which they're going to be developing a complete new radar network for the entire state of Louisiana with multiple stations. And they reach out to GCOOS, and GCOOS has been able to support them. And we're very excited for them to succeed in this project so we can provide this data to you in the future. On the glider side, I just wanted to reiterate also that the data from our Mexican colleagues developing glider missions throughout the southern Gulf of Mexico and even the Caribbean, now it's flowing to Gandalf, not only flowing to Gandalf, but also we ensure together with Rutgers University scientists that the data reaches the glider DAC and also the GTS system that feeds eventually environmental management modeling systems and of NOAA and National Weather Service. Also, our partners from USM, the University of Southern Mississippi, they are acquiring 2 new Ocean Scout gliders from Heffron Company. These Ocean Scout gliders, they're going to add the capacity of the GCOOS pilot groups to develop shallow missions throughout the shallower and continental shelf areas in the central Gulf of Mexico for now. This is a new work that we're very excited also as well. We do have a new data partner that contributes data to GCOOS through Gandalf, and therefore the glider DAC. That's University of Louisiana Lafayette, and that's Dr. Natalia Sireskova. We're also very appreciative of her contribution of that data all the way through the IUS network. And our partners are acquiring new gliders over the next few weeks and months. These should be coming pretty soon because we've been hearing this for a number of months now. So University of Alabama, Dolphin Island Sea Lab, it's getting a new Slocum glider. So it's GERG, Dr. Tony Napanuchena. USM, it's also, my understanding is that getting a new glider that's going to replace one of the older gliders. And Montgomery Lab is getting a new glider donated by a private foundation or a private individual who are contributing new gliders. So as you can see, hopefully our autonomous vehicles and glider program will continue to grow, and we will continue to provide essential information throughout the Gulf of Mexico. We're also working on drafting a climate change services framework for the coastal zone in the Gulf of Mexico. Where you're going to hear more about this over the next few weeks. We're going to start sharing more information about it. And the last thing that I want to share in this update, it's what is happening just recently on the Inflation Reduction Act funding and IUS. IUS issue a request for applications to regional associations on September 29, a couple of Fridays ago, for $100 million. We're set to respond by March 5th for all the proposals that will $100 million encompass. This project duration will be 5 years for all of these funding. So for us, IRA has 2 different topic areas, 1 and 2. Topic area 1, it's $55 million divided by the regional association. So that's about $5 million for GCOOS potentially funding. This is set to contribute to the regional association. So the regional needs that we identify to keep continuous operations of ocean observations and the longevity to address coastal resiliency. and also to support underserved communities throughout the Gulf coastal environment and build resiliency in that way. Topic area 2, it's where IUS is having the good idea of having regional associations to contribute, to collaborate in more than one regional association. So proposals of more than 2 regional associations for national priorities, and for pan-regional needs as well for the same purposes. These proposals will be in the order of about $45 million, again, among several regional associations, and identifying needs for some of the new national programs of IUS, including inundation sensors and other things. So with this, I just wanted to finish and thank you for the opportunity and for joining our meeting, okay?
Thank you, Jorge. I know we're just a couple of minutes behind the agenda, but I think we have time for a question or two if anybody from the group has any thoughts or questions. If you'd like to come off mute or raise your hand. I did just want to mention that the IRA funding is a very big deal inside the federal government. NOAA has received a lot of these funds that are being sent out to our communities through a lot of different grant programs. And so I'm really excited that IUS has been authorized to provide these funds to our regional associations. And I think that'll be a really big boon to keeping some of our operations and maintenance and going and improving the infrastructure that we do have in the Gulf. So I'm really excited that they're giving us this opportunity, and Jorge will be working very diligently over the next 5 months to pull that proposal together. So if you have thoughts or ideas, please reach out to us and let us know what you're thinking. All righty, if we don't have any questions, I'm going to pass this over to Dr. Pat Hogan to talk about ocean heat data.